Right, coming off a pretty nice weekend here on the Power Five. Went 3-2 with show plays on both Saturday and Sunday. Got five more free winners for you coming up here on Monday, hitting the Music City Bowl. That's Iowa versus Missouri. Monday Night Football, Lions 49ers, and the English Premier League as well. Go ahead, smash that like button when you're in agreement with any of the following selections. Also, don't be afraid to comment down below with your thoughts as well. Let's start with that Music City Bowl where Missouri takes on Iowa. Mizzou holding steady as a 2.5 point favorite for this one, while the total has dropped from 43.5 to 40. It's obviously one of the lower totals we've had this entire bowl season. Remember, though, bit of a different Iowa team this year in that they were 9-3 to the over. Couple key opt outs for the Hawkeyes this afternoon, though, to keep track of. Make note of these. Running back Caleb Johnson, quarterback Jamari Harris. Head coach Kirk Ferentz, though, says he doesn't expect anyone else to opt out. But with quarterback Cade McNamara hitting the transfer portal, it's going to be Brendan Sullivan getting the starting nod here. Sullivan, who is a threat as a runner, does have previous starting experience. He threw for 344 yards in a win over Northwestern when McNamara was out with a concussion. Meanwhile, this Missouri offense will be dealing with even more key absences than Iowa. No Luther Burden, who's preparing for the NFL draft. Fellow receiver Mookie Carper and tight end Brett Norfleet, they're both injured as well. I have to be frank, I was not a believer in this Tigers team all season. They didn't really beat anyone of note. Really weak non-conference schedule. Got blown out by both Texas A&M and Alabama. Did not face the likes of Georgia, Texas, or Ole Miss. I give Iowa a slight edge defensively and a big edge on special teams in what might end up being a low-scoring affair. Why not just take the better overall team catching points? Look for Ferentz to improve to 13-7-1 ATS all-time in bowls. Don't forget that Music City Bowl kicks off at 2:30 Eastern. Now, if you're looking for something else to bet on this afternoon, may I offer you a couple Premier League picks for Monday? Let's start with Chelsea heading to Portman Road to face Ipswich Town, 2:45 Eastern. Chelsea, big road favorites, as you might expect for this fixture against a relegation-threatened side. I would lay the -1.5 on the spread with the Blues here. Yes, back-to-back matches without a win for Chelsea, including the disappointing loss at home last week to Fulham. But this is still a top four side from where I sit. A far cry from their opponents Monday. Ipswich Town has lost 5 of 6, leaving them second from the bottom in the table. Didn't even manage a single shot on target against Arsenal last week. Before that, the Tractor Boys were beaten 4-0 by Newcastle. I think Chelsea can name the score here. Their two biggest wins of the season came against bottom four sides, 6-2 over Wolves, 5-1 over Southampton. They should have no problem winning here by 2 goals or more. One more from the pitch, and I'll actually take Manchester United, draw no bet against Newcastle. Kind of a surprising pick, I know. Newcastle have won 4 straight with a 14-1 goal differential. They're up to fifth in the table. Meanwhile, Man U sits 14th, and their recent form has not been good. 3 straight losses in all competitions, including an exit from the EFL Cup. The Red Devils haven't even scored a goal each of their last 2 league matches, but this is at home on Monday, and Newcastle has just one win their last 39 visits to Old Trafford. Rare to see Manchester United not priced as a favorite at home unless they're taking on one of the real heavyweights. Uh, Remember, in case of a draw, our bet is a push, not a loss here. Take Man U. Draw, no bet. Now back to American football. I'll be giving you 2 plays for Lions Niners. The first, it's going to be 49ers plus 3.5. I know underdogs have not been doing too well this season. Certainly didn't do well this week in the NFL, but I did go 2 for 2 over the weekend in the NFL, and both plays were underdogs. Had the Cardinals on Saturday night, then the Giants, an outright winner yesterday against the Colts. And I think the Niners are worth a shot here. Pretty rare to see them as home underdogs. Remember, they were road favorites last week. I always talk about on the show teams who move from road favorites to home dog or vice versa, that there's often value on or in fading those teams depending on the which way the role reversal went. I know the Lions have been the best team in the league so far. They're always favored, okay? But they're really banged up, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They've got that huge showdown with Minnesota next week that's going to determine who wins the NFC North and gets home field advantage for the playoffs. The result of this game actually has zero bearing on the stakes of next week's Lions-Vikings showdown, which will be the Sunday night game for the record. Still, has not stopped the public from getting down on Detroit. As of this recording, WagerTalk.com live odds screen says 80% of the tickets, 86% of the money's on the Lions. I'm going to fade the public. Shout out to my good friend Steve Merrill. That's Niners plus 3.5. All right, final play for today will be a player prop. I like Ricky Pearsall of the Niners to go over 19.5 yards receiving. You can find that number at FanDuel. I think DraftKings is a little bit higher. They were at 20.5 last I looked. Pearsall caught all 4 targets for last week for 37 yards, including one 21-yard catch. Again, Lions defense is banged up, particularly at the back end. There's going to be opportunities in the passing game for San Francisco, and I like Pearsall's number a lot more than I do George Kittle's, Deebo Samuel's, or Juwan Jennings. This is a bet we can cash with just one big catch. Let's do a recap here. Monday's Power 5, like Iowa, plus 2.5 in the Music City Bowl. In the English Premier League, we like Chelsea minus 1.5 against Ipswich Town, and then Manchester United draw no bet against Newcastle. Monday Night Football, San Francisco 49ers plus 3.5 against the Detroit Lions, and we like Ricky Pearsall over 19.5 yards receiving. Go ahead and comment down below with your thoughts on those selections. Then head on over to wt.buzz/BP for all of my top picks. If you already haven't done so, be sure to pick up that 5% max bet for the college football playoff quarterfinals. Kickoff is rapidly approaching. I'm still number 1 in CFB the last 13 months, up 56.4 units. I'm also 9-3, 75% with all max bets in football over the last year plus. That is NFL and college. Includes 2-0 this past regular season in CFB. Texas Tech over Arizona State. Fresno State over Colorado State were those 2 winners. Remember, you could save 25% on that 5% max bet by using coupon code HOLIDAY25 at checkout. That's HOLIDAY25. Get you an instant 25% savings there. That will do it for Monday's edition of the Power 5. Smash that like button if you enjoyed it. Make sure you're subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. And until next time, let's cash some tickets.